just starting up the Chairbacks. Our group got dropped off by Poet from Shaw's a little bit ago and did the 0.8 up the hill to get to the AT. And the Chairback range is our target for the day. We may stop after about 12 miles and save some of the descent down for first thing in the morning. Poet recommended that, so it's a pretty tough climb down. So we'll see how the day goes, but the sun is shining and we're all excited to be back in the 100-mile wilderness. Alright, we're halfway up Chairback Mountain, and this is the Barren Slide. What a view. Amazing that we waited a day and got such great weather. And these are the giant boulders. It's hard to get the scale, but if you look over there, you see Wiki sitting on a rock. And there's a blue liner. These are giant, giant rocks. Well, this is the climb up to Barren Mountain, part 2. We did the nice level part. It was really beautiful. And now we're working our way up to the last bit to the peak. It's 0.3 from here. I think that blue liner is somewhere behind me. I haven't seen him in a while, so I hope he's doing all right. And everybody else is ahead. They say hi. 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 This is not Katahdin, but it's getting close. Great views today. Alright, we've been up and over one mountain and we're getting ready to climb 4th mountain. That is the name of it. And first we get to cross a bog on a bog bridge, which hopefully is stable and not slippery, because I don't really want to fall off it. But oops, look at that. Yeah. Here's a rock with a real face on it. Looks like a giant fist next to it. Could be a lion, could be something else. Alright, there's 4th mountain. And not a whole lot of a view. Just a little bit over there. And then we head down this way, and I hear there's a interesting rock scramble ahead of us. Okay, we've been up and over 4th mountain. Not a whole lot to see there. And we are now heading up 3rd mountain, or at least in that direction. We finally made it to the top of 3rd mountain. This is Monument Cliff, or 3rd mountain. And the views up here are pretty nice. You can see the colors starting to come in, the fall colors. A lot brighter than they were just a couple of days ago. And I think by the time we get to Katahdin, they're going to be spectacular. Yeah, boy, what a view. Good morning. I just left the Chairback Gap lean-to just a little after 7. Most of the trail family is still up there, but we got in a little late and had to camp at a tent site, a stealth site, just about like 0.1 from the shelter. It wasn't too bad. And actually the privies, for some reason in Maine, they put the privies far, far away from the shelter, so we were actually right close to the privy, but some poor folks had to come in and camp right next to the privy because there just weren't any tent spaces around. But it's all good. We're up and out early, and only did 10 yesterday coming out of Shaw's. It was tough climbing. We did 4 mountains, I think. Up and down, up and down, up and down. And we've got more today. We have Chairback Mountain first thing. And then we have some long down, and there's a big rock scramble down a rock slide. And after that, 4 peaks, and we'll see if we can knock out 17. That's kind of the goal, but I think more likely we'll be doing 14 just based on the terrain. And anyone who says the 100-mile wilderness is flat probably also told you Virginia is flat. Neither one is true, but it does, from what we hear, get a little bit more favorable in terms of trail conditions after we get through this stretch. So we're going to get through here. We've got a food drop coming from Shaw's that we were able to split the cost 5 ways, so we'll have that. Probably push it out to the morning after tomorrow just to give us a little extra time, but still feeling pretty good about our target of getting to Katahdin to summit around October 3rd or 4th. And yeah, so it's all good. Hiking well, feeling good, and ready to roll. Not quite to the top of Chairback Mountain yet, but I just came up to this rocky outcrop with some nice views. And it's hard to tell. I think there might be some civilization down there, if nothing less than hunting camps. And I keep hearing cars and ATVs, so I know there's a lot of ATV trails around here as well. Actually, I heard a plane fly over last night, so we're in the 100-mile wilderness, but not deep in the wilderness as you might think. I guess I actually did hit the summit. I didn't see the sign, but the trail is starting to head down behind me, so I'm going to stop for a second. Everybody else is still not caught up yet, and I'm going to eat the rest of my breakfast and shed a layer, because I know I'm going to get into breaking a sweat as I go down the rock scramble. So I'm going to wait for the group, a little reinforcement to help me down. I'm not real good with downhill still, especially when it's a big rock scramble. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do, and then don't know if I'll get any video of the scramble. I'll try. So this is the beginning of the rock slide. There's an AT sign way down there, just to make sure you know where you're at. Well, it appears that we are finished with the rock scramble. Although knowing the AT, we could cross it again further down, but if that was all there was to it, it really was not terrible. Just required a little bit of caution and thinking about where you place your feet, thinking 2 or 3 steps ahead. But yeah, not too bad. How do you feel, Root? You having fun over there? Alright, we are getting ready to go across the river. You ready?
Oh yeah.
You ready?
Good to go.
Let's try to stay dry. Leave that undone.
Yeah.
Alright, it doesn't look too deep or too steep or too swift, so hopefully we'll have a good crossing.
You heard the air sucking in.
So that was successful.
Not bad.
Awesome. All right, I don't know if you can read that, but this is my first sign. Katahdin, 83.9. We are making progress. Heading down that beautiful trail. Not gonna last, I'm sure, but I'll take it when I can get it. After all the rocks and roots and stuff, this looks amazing. We're heading up a long, slow ascent, and just walking alongside a really pretty creek. We haven't been able to see it until just now, but lovely. It's about, I think, 6 miles or so uphill from the creek crossing that we did to the next shelter. We're not stopping at the next shelter, but it's a good landmark. And just not too steep, but lots of little roots and rocks and muddy areas to navigate. All right, we reached the summit of Gulf-Haggis Mountain after a bit of a climb. There were lots of rock stairs thanks to the MATC, but there's still a challenging climb there. And this is a wooded summit. There's not really any view here. I think there's a side trail somewhere, but we're going to head on down 0.9, I believe, to the campsite where we're going to spend the night. All these ferns are waist high, and they're dying off for the winter, but I remember walking through ferns like this down south that were waist high and wondering what lived underneath them. Wow, they're really kind of pretty in their golden color.